welcome. So today I am going to talk about the second element of wellness, which is emotional wellness. But I wanted to give you a little brief overview on the history on how health has been defined and how unfortunately wellness has yet to be defined because wellness and it encompasses so many other elements, right? Which leads me to those seven elements of well-being. And so in 1946, the World Health Organization, as they were developing or creating the preamble to the Constitution of the World Health Organization, they defined health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. And wellness, as we know it includes so many things. There's so many variables, right? Our environment, our culture differences, our gender, our age, how we grew up, where we grew up, our experiences, all of those things affect our wellness for good or for bad. And so, even with that said, that doesn't mean we don't have a choice. We still have a choice on how we want to improve our wellness. So the only things that we may not be able to control is the environment, maybe our socioeconomic status. Say for a child, they have no control over the world or the life or the home they're being brought into. So those are things that they can't control as a child, but as they get older, we can control those, right? So that's what's really important, is that we have choices. And so those choices is, us bringing to light that, we have opportunities to improve our wellness, and there's so many things that impact it, but at the same time, we can, inform ourselves well enough to heal ourselves. So with that said, our second dimension is emotional wellness. And what is that? That is the development, awareness, and acceptance of one's feelings, which is very, very important. For some people, that's very difficult to accept, whether we're angry, we're sad, we're happy. Sometimes even happiness can bring guilt to some people. And if you see my little dog, he's making an appearance. He's decided to walk as I'm making this video. So you may see him come by again. And in addition to that, some of the signs of emotional wellness include the capacity to manage our feelings, acknowledge our limitations when accepting our feelings, because sometimes, again, it may be very difficult. So we may need assistance from somebody else, from a professional, to be able to help us guide through certain emotions or through certain feelings, right? And then also developing autonomy and effectively coping with stress. And what is developing autonomy? That is, being able to be us and accepting ourselves, and or accepting to be sometimes okay with being alone and not depending on anybody else. That is okay, being able to finally accept yourself for whoever you are, however you look. That's so important with our emotional wellness. And effectively coping with stress. Again, sometimes there are people who need professional guidance into being able to deal with stress, right? I may be able to deal with traffic perfectly fine, even though that's annoying, but the next person maybe not. Maybe they have road rage, or they try to follow, or they just get so bent out of shape it ruins their day, right? So those are those little things that, again, some people may need a little bit more help with. There are three things that I would recommend in guiding and or achieving this emotional wellness. Is sometimes we just have to avoid toxic people, toxic situations, and that may include the workplace. And sometimes it's not feasible, right, to either leave a job or to cut ties with family members that are just toxic and dramatic, that all they do is bring drama to your life. But guess what? Sometimes we're going to have to do it. And we may do it slowly but surely by creating distance, by creating your boundaries. There's nothing wrong with you establishing boundaries with people that suck energy out of you. These are those emotional vampires, I believe that's what they're called. And so you kind of have to be aware of who those people are if you're not already. But sometimes it's just you're gonna have to again cut ties with these people, or I know sometimes it's not feasible to leave a job, but sometimes certain jobs can become very stressful, not by the work, but maybe by the environment that has been created or by the individuals that work there. So sometimes you need to do that to feel better and to heal. I'm sure you guys have heard that phrase that you can't heal in the same environment that hurt you. Well, it's very true. You can't expect to change or to make things any better or for you to kind of make any progress in that emotional wellness when you keep going back to the same situation, right? Unless you're going to learn how to react to it different, which leads me to the second point, which is focus on your reaction of these situations. If you are constantly just reacting to every situation, to every challenge, instead of kind of sitting back, taking kind of note of what's going on with your feelings when you have experienced certain things, it's very, very important to develop those tools to be able to not be so reactive, but instead kind of calm yourself first before you decide what the next step is to take in action. And so staying calm is probably one of the hardest things for most of us to do, but it's quite necessary. So again, I'll give you the example of being in traffic. Sometimes it's we're maybe running late somewhere, and then all the lights decide to turn red as we're driving, so we're getting behind, or traffic is horrendous, or maybe we're at a grocery store and the line just seems to be eternal. It's super slow. It so happens that usually happens. Those kind of scenarios usually happen when you are in a rush to get somewhere. But so how are you going to react? How are you going to face that situation? Are you going to get more stressed, or are you just going to take a couple of breaths and just let things be, and let the day go without you stressing out? And then the third thing that I would recommend is to find healthy activities for you to do. It could be walking, it could be yoga, it could be meditating. These things don't have to take long. You could take out 5 minutes at the beginning of your day and 5 minutes at the end of your day to kind of focus on yourself, on how you are going to prep for your day, or how at the end of the day, if you do those 5 minutes, how you can assess how the day went, what went wrong, what went right, how you reacted. And every day you can kind of be assessing them, like, oh, same thing happened a week ago, but now I've reacted completely different. So those are things for you to kind of take note and to start incorporating. Sometimes it's even as simple as a hot cup of coffee or tea, or setting up your little environment with your workspace, whether it's at home and or at work. You can do little salt rocks. Some people are truly obsessed with those, or stones. That's fine. That helps you feel better and it creates a more positive space for you. Then do it. Why not? Or little nice settings with some aromatherapy, either oils or waxes. Just set your space where you're going to spend most of your time as comfortable as you possibly can. Even breathing techniques, which I have talked about in a different video, so I will put them. Sometimes even sorry, my dog is moving the notes, so that's what you're hearing. And sometimes even playing some meditative music, not the kind that's going to make you fall asleep, but something that's going to relax you on your way to work, so that you can are prepped to start the day. So again, hopefully these are very helpful for you, and that you can incorporate those now in your life. If you have any questions, please submit your comments. Please share this with people, especially those that are on that journey of healing. It doesn't take for you to go and hire people, or buy things. There's so many things that you could do at home right now to get you on the way, or start you on your way to emotional wellness. Remember that emotional wellness has such an impact, whether positive or negative, on all your other states or dimensions of wellness. And so if we're not healthy emotionally, if we're constantly stressing out, or we're in stressful situations all the time, it's obviously going to affect us physically. This is where some of these conditions that sometimes we can't heal appear suddenly, or again don't go away, and that's because we're still in a toxic environment. So be very, very mindful of that. I hope you liked the video, and I will see you here next time.